Hello and welcome to your in-depth horoscope forecast for September. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. That means every time I release a video, you'll get an alert. Now also, if you'd like to ascend above Zodiac sign astrology and embrace natal astrology based on your time, date and place of birth, please check out my special offer of a 12-month forecast and a character analysis and get 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video for more information. Hello Leo and welcome to your monthly horoscope for September. This month begins in exciting fashion with the Sun and also Mars in your sector of resources. If you're wanting to make some improvements to the foundations of your existence, you're wanting people to take your talents more seriously, or you're wanting to earn more money, there's so much to go for this month, but it may require you to flex and to, in some ways, make some changes or be open to new possibilities. And the reason for this, Leo, is the role of Uranus, which has been shaking up your world interaction pretty well full-time since March the 7th, 2019. And the first 10 days of this month, the Sun is in a trine with Uranus, which is very enabling. Uranus likes freshness, it's quick moving, and it also can be quite rebellious. So the 10th house is where you're mixing and mingling with people in positions of authority. So you may have surprised a few people with some of your moves. You may have changed your work quite radically. Maybe COVID has had an impact on that, so it's not necessarily been something you've chosen, but some kind of alteration's been going on. And really the Sun in your second house, which is very much to do with security, is really asking you to think afresh about how you can use innovation and new approaches to enliven that first part of this month. But in tangent with that, Mars is in this same area. Mars is about thrust, it's about instant gratification. It pushes us to get what we want now. And in the sign of Virgo, of course, it's very much about precision, but also about tangible results. So it's linked to Pluto across the first 10 days of this month. And Pluto's in your sector of the practical elements of work. So this is about the processes, the details. So the two are really egging each other on in a splendid way, and with the Sun in that very fresh angle to Uranus, the first third of this month can be truly invigorating, and I think you're going to be showing an awesome amount of drive and willpower to take things forward in your situation. Now Venus and Mercury are the two planets of relating, and they are in fact in a very bubbly part of your situation, the third house, as this month begins. But it is true to say that Mercury does go into shadow on the 19th and then goes into retrograde on the 27th. And it is in a bit of a tense angle with Pluto in the latter part of this month. But let's just revisit Venus to begin with. Venus forges a very constructive angle with Saturn across the 3rd to the 9th. You could have a conversation across those days which seals a deal in a very positive way. But equally, Venus is challenged, ironically, by Pluto. So it's important that you don't agree to something that's not ultimately good for you. But I think with having Mars and Pluto in the mix, along with the freedom lover of Uranus, really that points towards you getting terms that really are agreeable to you. It doesn't mean to say it's only on your terms. It means that you can really have a sense that the fundamental changes that you're making in your situation will give you a greater income, greater sense of security, but you're realizing that you have to put a lot of yourself into the situation in order to drive the improvements. Now in the week 3 of this month, the Sun's going to replicate Mars's earlier link to Pluto. So again, another opportunity to drive forwards with an improvement around how you marshal your resources, being more economical in your approach, extracting more from what you've got, And that can be a very good thing for a Leo person, because essentially you can be very gregarious, very generous, and you're being asked to be very feet on the ground. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't still be enterprising, because enterprise is written right across this month in big writing. Also on the 10th, Venus then moves into the sign of Scorpio. So if you're thinking about making some changes to your home, the chances are they will be decorative. If there's someone that you fancy, you may want to entertain them in the comfort of your abode, because if you're good at cooking, or you love your garden, for example, those can be great ways to spoil somebody, or people in general. It could be a family celebration that manifests itself from the 10th. Now on the 15th, Mars goes into Libra. Technically it's in detriment here. Don't worry too much about that, because this just gives you an enormous amount of extra determination to share your message, which will go on through to the end of October. So if you are wanting to permeate your ideas, write a blog, set up a new online business, provide services, your energy and enthusiasm can really be topped up by Mars arrival. But Mars going into its shadow period just suggests, as it always would, that there could be a few tangles. And details matter with Mercury, because it is the ruler of Virgo, not just the ruler of Gemini. So being very abreast of things, the ins and outgoings, making sure you confirm things, is very important to do, particularly with Mercury getting caught up in a right angle with Pluto, which is about the details. So making sure that the details are communicated in a clear way is really going to be helpful. Now there is going to be a full moon on the 20th, and if something is out of kilter still around your resources, the following 2 weeks is pushing you to make sure that you realign things. So if you're spending too much on your groceries, if you can trim things back, that will bring your longer term future into balance. If you're someone who can afford to spend what you like, really, are you spending money to fill some kind of empty feeling inside of you? Is there a need to look at money and your self-worth in a different way? Just posing that question, not telling you how it is for you. And then on the 22nd, we have the autumn equinox, a really important day in the astrological calendar, because we begin the third 13-week cycle of the Western tropical zodiac, which is based on the seasons, not on the moving planets in the sky. So in other words, the framework that was created about 2,000 years ago is based on the seasons, not the precession of the equinoxes. And week 3 does see Venus in an opposition with Uranus. So could be something that happens unexpectedly around the family. Perhaps someone's going to turn up on your doorstep without announcement, or perhaps you could get itchy feet about where you live. The 27th, with Mercury finally going fully into retrograde, then you're really obviously beginning a time where making sure that all communications are ultra sharp and very clear is important for us all. It's in your 3rd house, so anything to do with bikes, motorcycles, or even cars, technology. If there's a service needed around a trusted domestic appliance, for example, get it done as this month draws to a close. The thing with Mercury retrograde is to revisit, repair, renew. Look at it in a positive way rather than just waiting for it to blight you, because as you know, Mercury will blight all of us at some level, whether it's sort of the banking system going down because their software gets sabotaged, or you're sending a parcel somewhere and the label comes off. These things can happen with Mercury retrograde, but it's what we do that really counts, because we can limit the impact of Mercury retrograde by being as efficient as possible in how we marshal our thoughts, our ideas, our communications, how we write things down, how we send things. All those kind of things are largely under our own control. So an exciting burst of energy at the end of this month around, maybe you're going to get fitter, you're going to feel more like moving around more. But the earlier part of the month is very much about work, resources, money, and some kind of big shift could be going on in that arena for you.